everybody, and welcome to episode 101 of On the Road with AutoTrader, where we make car stuff simple for Canadians. My name is Jodi, and I'm the editor-in-chief of AutoTrader.
And my name is Sebastian Bell. I'm the associate editor, and I'm experiencing some pretty significant FOMO because Jodi got to meet Sung Kang.
Woo! So Sung Kang, iconic.
Yes.
He's famous for his role as Han in Fast and Furious.
The coolest man in Fast and Furious, certainly.
Honestly,
the world,
correct.
Maybe.
Han is the favorite of so many Fast and Furious fans out there.
They brought him back to life. He was so popular. 3 times!
Like, this man will not die. And thank goodness, because I love him.
Yes.
We got a little bit of an opportunity to chat with him at the Toronto Auto Show recently.
Yeah, so exciting.
And he's out promoting his new movie.
Right, which I haven't seen a trailer for.
There is no trailer for it yet.
Okay,
so this movie, it's called Drifter.
Yeah.
Sung directed, wrote it, produced it. It's an independent film, so it's not done with the studio.
Okay.
It is a passion project for him.
That's awesome.
And they're not even done editing. They're in the final stages of editing and sound mixing and stuff like that.
Okay.
So there's no official trailer.
Right, so we can't show you that.
I can't show you that. I can tell you a little bit about it because I got a sneak peek of the trailer just before we met.
Oh, that's so exciting.
And it was so cool.
Okay. Can you, what's apart from being about a drifter?
Okay, so the premise of this movie, and this is really like a passion project for him, so it's really important that this was an independent film that like he saw from beginning to end. So the movie Drifter is, it takes place in California.
Cool.
Kang plays a janitor named Tree.
I mean... pretty hot janitor, but okay.
Right? Like, none of the janitors I knew growing up looked like this.
Yeah, totally.
And so he's blind in one eye. This janitor is blind in one eye.
Okay.
He's living under the crushing weight of, like, generational family debt.
Okay.
And during the day, he's a janitor at Willow Springs Raceway.
Oh, that's so cool.
Which is so cool because we have driven Willow Springs before.
Yeah.
We did a lot of work in the Little Willow, so like the smaller track.
Yeah.
But we were drifting around that track too.
We were there. Yeah, exactly.
And
that's so cool.
It's so fun that it takes place there. I feel a very personal connection to Willow Springs. But in this movie, when he's not being a janitor, this character, he's driving his like battered 1980s Toyota AE86 Corolla.
Which is so cool. A lot of drift history there.
Iconic, right?
Yeah,
an iconic drift car.
Totally.
An iconic car in car culture in general.
Totally.
And this character gets an unexpected opportunity to compete in Legends of Drift, which is a professional competition. And this kind of offers him, that 1 in a million chance of escaping his life as a janitor for greater things,
Very cool.
So immediately, I'm like, I want to watch this movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
As a car person, I want to watch this movie, but also just as a fan of Sung Kang.
Yeah.
And he was very clear that like anyone can watch this movie. Like, it's not necessarily a movie for car people,
right? Because
it's a character-based story.
Totally.
And I saw the trailer. And I got chills just from the trailer.
Just from the trailer? That's so exciting.
And what I liked the most about this whole concept is that it felt very grassroots. Because it is an independent film, it means that they didn't have a big studio budget. So they had to be scrappy with it.
That's so cool.
Right?
Yeah. And like we know a thing or two about being scrappy with automotive media because like we shoot with GoPros.
We never have budgets.
We never have budgets, exactly. But we know how hard it is to shoot theatrically with that equipment, with low budgets. That's super impressive.
Yeah, so I'm excited about this movie.
Yeah, what was Sung Kang like?
Oh my God, he was so cool. Like he was pretty much exactly like you see him on camera is what he's like in real life.
Okay.
Just like the most chill. He is also like so humble, almost uncomfortably humble.
How do you mean?
Where like you'll see in the interview that we'll play with him.
Okay.
But it was just like I was like, oh, I'm so proud of you. Like, congratulations. And he was like, I'm nothing special. And like I mean, he talks a lot about about the challenges he faces as an Asian man in Hollywood, which obviously like I could relate to. Not that I'm in Hollywood, but I'm an Asian woman who works in automotive, and there's just not that many of us out there, right?
Totally. And we talked about that in our interview with Barry Hertz, who wrote the book about Fast and the Furious, how that was a big deal for, obviously Sung, but the director of that movie, whose name escapes me in this
Justin
film.
Lin.
Thank you so much. And yeah, it's a big theme, and that's really cool that it's continuing here.
Yeah, and I respect him so much, but then it was also part of our conversation was like really heartbreaking as well, because he experiences a lot of like hopelessness in Hollywood,
right,
being who he is, and we'll get into this later, but there's like, this movie kind of had to be an independent movie,
right?
Because Hollywood would not cast him in a movie like this.
Interesting.
Right? They would not let him direct it. They would not let all the people who worked on it work on it.
That makes me want to watch it so much more.
Right? And that's why I'm so excited about this, because it is truly a passion project. It is a love letter to the car community who all came together to help him make this movie. And during our conversation, like, you asked me how he is. He's like so chill and like so wonderful. Yeah. And I felt like I was shouting at him the whole time, because I have a loud voice. Like I'm an excitable person. Totally. And I was just like, rah, 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 rah. And he was like just so gracious with his time and generous with his answers.
Very cool.
So first of all, you guys, like, we shot this in the middle of an auto show. So there's going to be a little bit of like background noise. I think there's like a baby crying at one point. So like the sound quality is not 100%. And I also shot it on my phone with some like external mics, because originally I had no intention to use this as a podcast episode.
Well, right. Initially, the interview wasn't going to last long enough, but it was going so well that all of a sudden, he had so much to say. Yeah. That's awesome.
So originally, we only had 15 scheduled minutes to speak with him, and that's not a lot of time for an interview. No, but we ended up chatting for like 25 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
And I could have chatted with him for like hours. Yeah. There's just so much experience that I wanted to like learn from him and then learn about him. So it was very, very cool to talk to him.
Okay, I can't wait anymore. Let's roll it. I really want to see it.
Okay, you guys, here's the clip. Enjoy it in its entirety. It's completely unedited except for like the swearing, because again, I wasn't intending to use this, so I was like in my natural, very, very sweary state.
Fair enough.
Okay, enjoy, you guys. So like, this is really cool. So thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you.
Also just thank you for like giving us a cool Asian to look up to when we were younger. I'm sure you hear this all the time, but like just how you showed up as yourself and as Han was like so meaningful to us. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
I saw the trailer. Goosebumps. Yeah. Got goosebumps, got chills. What do you feel like this is your passion project, right? So like, how does it feel for you to get something that you are obviously so passionate about out there into the world?
It's it's a daily like reminder to be grateful, and so it makes me feel like so lucky and blessed that I have all these amazing people around me that came to support me. For this community, car community, all my friends, and I don't know what I did to deserve all of that, right? But to see the movie, we're editing it, and see it on the screen, I say I pinch myself, and every morning I wake up and I just pray to the car gods and whoever's upstairs, and I just sit here and just say thank you. We're just so grateful to be here.
I mean, I feel like that attitude comes through in the work that you do, like that passion. Like, I think that's why people love you so much, is because like you just seem so real. It's like you're just one of us, and it seems attainable and approachable, but also like, wow, something to aspire to as well. So
I'm nothing special.
Look at this guy. I'm nothing special. Come on. No. I think you're like obviously like an inspiration to a lot of people, right? Like, I mean, especially like being an Asian woman who works in automotive. There's not that many of us, and sometimes I feel like I am both like hyper visible and invisible at the same time. Like, does this ever happen to you?
Yeah, that's a great way to describe it. In Hollywood, well, in like daily walks of life, when I go to like Target I'm highly visible, but in Hollywood, I'm invisible, you know? So maybe, you know, that yin and yang is important for us to have that drive and motivation to leave something behind, you know?
I mean, what do you want to leave behind? After, like, this is such a big deal. Like, I'm so proud of you. So congratulations, first of all, because like I know it's like just to see your passion project out there must be a huge, like, wow, just like a crazy dream moment for you, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. You know, if I were to say like what I want to leave behind, sure, I want to make great movies. I want to tell great stories. I want to do great work as an actor, storyteller. Um, but you know, when I come to like events like this, you know, like an auto show or car meet, um, you know, I understand a little bit of maybe what my like overall purpose on this world is, because I'm so uh like exhausted by the stuff that we see in the news and social, of us being programmed to like look for our differences and hate each other. It's a daily reminder of why we're different, or why we shouldn't get along, why why this person shouldn't be here, and why we're different from everybody else. And it's exhausting, man, you know? And you come to an auto show, there's people like wearing turbans, and we're looking at the colors and the age brackets, and there's kids, there's women, there's you from all over the world. And once we get into this building, we're all brothers and sisters, because we share one crazy passion for these cars.
I always say that like cars are the great equalizer, right? And I've been just telling David that like you don't need to know shit about cars to enjoy cars. You literally just have to love cars. And all of these people are like they feel that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
So
we need community. We need a reason to get together. And we're gonna talk about each other's cars, but at least we're talking
it's
to
out
each
of
other.
love though.
Yeah, out of love. Yeah.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so do you think that comes through? Like, did you kind of create this movie to bring people together in that way?
Yes. I mean, the objective of this movie is for us to, you know, eventually get it into a theater, right? But or have a reason to get together in the parking lot, and then, you know, transfer that over into the theater. You know, that shared passion for cars or drifting, and even also the human emotion, right? It's like this movie, you don't have to be a car person to like go on this ride with us. You know, Brian Scotto, my second unit director, he coined this phrase in his work. He did all the Gymkhana videos with Ken Block, co-founder of Hoonigan. And he he coined this phrase, honest angle, in his work. When you see the car action, you know that they're really driving. You know that there's no CG. And even in the emotional beats within the story for the characters, I really used and borrowed that. It's like, let's make sure that it's an honest angle in terms of the human emotion, so that anybody can watch the film and they can, you know, understand, they can relate with the struggles and the feelings that these characters are going through, you know?
It's crazy that you say that because we just watched the trailer and it was like, what, 30 seconds, something like that. I got chills. And I felt that emotion come through just in that trailer. So I can't imagine like when I get to see it in a movie theater, like how it's just gonna like slap me across the face.
Yeah, I believe that the camera doesn't lie. Any camera, the phone, you know, or FX3, or the big cinema cameras, is that, you know, we can try to hide behind, you know, effects, the camera angles, but the camera is the like the ultimate, like, you know, lie detector, right? Truth detector, right? So it is really like awesome to hear that you feel that just from watching the trailer, because so many people put their heart into this, you know. And working on a movie, you know, you can buy people's time, right? But you can't buy people's heart. And the feet that came together and gave you their heart in this film.
I mean, it feels like you just like everyone just wanted to be there, right? Like even when you were doing like the live acts, the drifting stuff, and like the like real people were just so pumped to show up for you, and I was like, oh, that's so nice, right?
So honored, you know.
Yeah, it's a cool feeling. Like it's crazy. So as a director, writer, producer, that's a lot of hats to wear. Like, what are some challenges that you faced wearing all three of those hats and like delivering on such a high level?
Just time. Time is your ultimate enemy when it comes to any movie. But if you're wearing multiple hats, the time is split. But what I learned from making this movie is that my job ultimately as a director is really just to hire people that are smarter and more talented than me. And you can't make a movie by yourself, and you're only as good as the people around you. And I think when you create a project from your heart, it does attract like-minded people, and it really redefined how and what kind of projects I'll spearhead or work on in the future. Because I've worked on things where my heart wasn't in it. I was just there to be there. And you would get to work, you're embarrassed after the fact. It's not evergreen. You don't want to reflect on it because
Right.
you know that you're faking the funk.
It was a paycheck,
Yeah.
right?
And look, and there's nothing wrong with
Yeah.
that. We still have to pay our bills. But the fact that I got the opportunity to be able to, create a project from bottom up and then put my heart on the table and see actually what kind of people that will attract. I mean, it is a beautiful thing to be a part of.
I mean, how do you deal with that vulnerability? Because like this is such a personal project for you, right? So like, how do you just like put yourself all out there for people, like lay everything on the line? Like, what does that feel like for you?
It's hard. It's especially the way I was brought up. A lot of men are brought up to be strong. You don't show your emotions. Never be vulnerable, right? 'Cause I don't think that really serves you in everyday life,
Right.
But without that, you're not going to be able to, find your community, your people, your friends, your tribe. And I'm learning to be more vulnerable. It's hard, It's hard to, to show this like this soft side of yourself,
Right.
right? But and it really is also the theme of the character in the movie, and the theme of Drifter is that through vulnerability, you'll you know, um, and finding your passion, you will find people that will come and support your dreams. But you have to be vulnerable and you have to speak out.
Right.
I don't know if necessarily being like the squeaky wheel, but it's being like a bleeding heart, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always say you gotta
Yeah.
you gotta ask for what you want, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're so trained not to do that. We're
Exactly.
taught like you shut up, you just
Yeah, keep
go
your
with
head
the flow,
down.
right?
Yeah.
But I think, it has to change, right? Otherwise we're always going to be in the shadows.
Right.
Yeah.
So I just now that this is like coming into the light, right? And like for you to play this character as a janitor, why a janitor?
Um,
Obviously you love a coverall, so
I do. I love coverall. Yeah, and also the coverall is great because I never have to change clothes.
it's so easy. That's
Yeah,
why I
yeah,
wear them all the
yeah,
time.
yeah. I have one outfit the whole time, and because I was directing, I know how long it's gonna take to go and change, and then continuity issues and stuff. I'm like, if I wear the same thing, I can bypass that and let the other talent worry about that. But why janitor? It's Well, first of all, because of Han and Fast and Furious, I wanted to make sure that people realize that this is not a movie about Han. Um, but I also want to, uh, show my appreciation to this audience, right? That have been supporting me. So I know that, they're looking for Han to be in a spinoff and all that stuff, right? But
Right.
this is not a spinoff, right? And I think if I made this character cool, or he's like, everything's going well for
Always
him,
snacking or something.
doesn't work, right? So it's an underdog story, and also it parallels how I feel in Hollywood. Is that doesn't matter what, like we were talking about earlier, is that I am invisible, and I felt like that for the last 31 years. A janitor. How do people actually treat janitors? They're in the shadows.
No one
right?
pays attention
Yeah,
to the
back of the
janitor,
room,
right? Yeah.
right? But some of the best fathers and brothers and mentors are working class blue collar people, right? And so I think today, the honor behind working with your hands and working in that type of trade is really kind of dismissed, right? And so janitor is like a perfect like job for an underdog, you know?
Yeah, I guess it just really embodies that
Yeah.
whole spirit, right?
Yeah.
So are there any parts of Han and that character that you wanted to bring into this, even though they're not part of the same universe? Was there something that you wanted to bring into this role?
I think the only thing that Han and Tree character that I play in Drifter, we I guess is similar is that they just have I think both characters have a personal and emotional connection with their cars. And that's it. Where like Tree doesn't have a snack. He's a janitor. He doesn't have money to buy snacks, right?
Right.
It's not cool. He doesn't have a bunch of girls around him, right? He's a junky old car. Um, and but they both have. They don't see their cars as appliances. They see them as like family members, right? There's a soulful emotional connection to their vehicles, right? And it's something that I naturally just understand. And every car I have, has a name. It's like a family member, it's a sister or a brother. Some more reliable than others.
Of course.
But I think every car person will like relate with that. Because I don't think car folks really treat their cars like it's an appliance, right? It's like
It's deeper than that.
way deeper, right? And I don't think you even have to be a car person to understand that. Like everybody has some type of memory or emotions in a car.
Right. Okay, so with this movie, what was the spark that made you want to do this in the first place? Like you probably as an artist, you probably have like always 1,000 ideas kicking around in your head. But like what was the spark that made you feel like I need to do this movie and I need to do it like for myself?
Well, waking up hopeless every day.
Really?
Yeah,
Well, I'm so sad you felt that way.
Yeah, because there's this yearning and desire to play roles of substicks and just waiting for the phone call that's never gonna happen. And I'm like, waking up going, what am I doing here? Why am I here? And sadness and depression, and you're pointing fingers and blaming everybody. I'm like, I don't want to go out like that. I don't want to be this jaded guy who's just like pissed off at the world and not happy where he is in his station in life. And I realized, it's all in front of you. It's like all the knowledge is in front of us. So you can go on YouTube and learn everything. People used to laugh at that, but like YouTube University is real.
Yeah, I learned how to sew on YouTube.
Yeah,
Like
everything,'s there, right? You can learn how to make overhauls.
That's true. I got to learn that.
Yeah, you can learn how to run a camera. You can learn lenses. You can learn, blocking a scene. You can learn everything, right? So, I spent about 15 years learning how to write, learn lenses. Really studying the craft of filmmaking, right? And then, and the privilege of being an actor, being a part of these bigger movies, that I get to go to school every day and just pay attention.
Soak it all in.
But that feeling of hopelessness, right? It's like made me go, okay, I need to make my own story. So I started to direct. I didn't know, like, do I do movies with cars, or do I do like a coming of age story? Do I do like an immigrant story? Do I do story of my mother? Or what do I do, right? And the first film I directed was a little tiny horror comedy, right? And I didn't write it. My writing partner wrote it. I just wanted to see if I could execute a film from A to Z, and do I have passion for directing? And so our final screening in Orange County, at the Q&A, the audience, asking questions, and they're like, what are you working on next? And I'm like, I think I want to work on this movie about like, drifting. And people just went crazy, right?
Yeah.
Then I said, and I also have this thing about my mother and my childhood. It's like crickets, right? And then,
I want to see that too, though, just on the record.
Yeah,
I want to see that movie, so please do it.
But the general public did not, right? So they got excited about this car movie. So on the way home, my producing partner and I were like, look at each other. I think I understand what my audience wants, right? So started developing, this other film that was a bigger studio movie that didn't work out. And then it evolved into Drifter, something that is really just grounded. It's not relying on big stunt pieces. It's really a character journey but it's in the backdrop of drifting and car culture, right? And fortunately, I've been embraced by, the car community because of Fast and because of Han. And, so many people were willing to come and help, and there's no way I could have made this movie without the car community. There's no way. Right. Indirectly or directly, every single person in the car community is responsible for this movie happening. Because every dollar, every car, every part, it's like, I think about it, we like tally it up and go, if this was a studio movie, how much this thing would cost? There's no way I could have made this. And also, a studio would have never cast me in this role. They would have never let me direct there, right? And they would have never let most of the people that worked on the film be a part.
Right. So basically you saw an opportunity. It's like, okay, there's no lane for me here. I'm just going to create my own lane.
I'll go off-road.
Yeah, I love that. I think that's just so smart. But so now that this is out there, do you feel like a sense of relief or excitement, or is it like cathartic feeling for you?
Oh, we're not officially out yet because I'm still actually in post.
Right.
And wrapping up the movie. We're almost done.
Almost there.
Right. So we just did all the music and amazing composer. We had sound mix. Can I share the sound mix story with you?
Yes, you can.
Okay. So sound mix, guys, is all the sound design in the movie. So like the sound of the cars, the sound of the environment. And that person gets nominated for Oscars, right? So it's a very detailed and very like honored position to be in, right? You have to be super talented. Right. And sound can make or break a film. You know that. Like you turn off sound in a film and you're like, what am I watching? Right? And music, all that stuff. And somebody has to design it. And I knew that we were gonna not be able to afford like a real sound designer. There's no way.
Okay.
Because they're like sometimes up to like $1 million, like for a good one, right? For a truly talented person. And finished the movie, you shot it, and I started talking to sound mixers, and it was so discouraging because I would like walk into these meetings and they would tell me like, we can't do this, and who do you think you are? You don't have enough money. And I get this email from my friend Andy Luck, who is one of the founders of Formula Drift. He's like one of the OGs of the Formula Drift. Yeah. And he writes me and he goes, hey, so who's going to sound mix your movie? And I'm like, what do you know about sound mixing? He's like, yeah, I know this Oscar-winning sound mixer. He's interested in like talking to you. And I'm like, yeah, right. Anyway, fast forward, we finished shooting the movie. I can't find a sound mixer. And I look at this email and I call Andy and I'm like, who's this guy? You're talking about Kevin O'Donnell, like has been nominated for 21 Oscars, and he has an Oscar in his hand. Why would he want to be part of this film? Why would he want to help me?
Well,
I don't know him. Yeah, but I asked him, like, I don't know him. And he said, because his son loves drifting. And he saw you come in scouts, the Long Beach Formula Drift. And he was interning, right, for Formula Drift. And he goes to his dad and he goes, hey, Sung is making his movie about drifting. You have to help him. And so do you understand like how the car community has come together to even in like the post-production side is that, and to have Kevin O'Donnell like work on this film it's like he is the guy. There's no like guy above him, right?
He's the
so
one.
and these are like examples of how the car community has come to like support this movie, right? And without that community, this movie's it'd probably be on a hard drive somewhere, or it would have never happened.
Oh, that's so crazy to think. I just feel like this is such a major accomplishment for you, and I'm like so proud of you. So thank you so much for your time today. This was so cool to chat with you.
Yeah.
Congrats. I'm
you.
very proud of you. I know I just met you, but I'm very proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Look at all these people who showed up for you
I
too.
know.
Does that ever get old? Like
No. No. I mean, it's like, people, this idea of like the fans, like really it evolved because all these kids, these folks, they do feel like they grew up with us. So it's not fans. It's almost like they're seeing like their
like my
uncle
cousin.
or cousin, right? So that feeling, I mean, even like a lot of the organizers, they're like, hey, there's there might be some crazies and stuff. And I'm like, guaranteed there's not going to be any crazy. I don't have crazy fans.
There's like nothing but love,
Yeah,
right?
it's just love. Yeah.
One more question. I'm in the middle of writing a Toyota Sienna review.
You are?
And I know, and I loved it. And I know you have one and you love it too.
Yeah.
So like, why do you love your Sienna so much? Because your car collection is crazy and cool. But like, why is it the Sienna that does it for you?
Because what the owner of a Sienna represents. When I was training for this baseball like TV show, and I was in Hawaii, and the coach was a beloved like figure in Hawaii, and he had two cars. He had a beat up Toyota Tacoma, and he had a beat up Toyota Sienna. And then I find out like he's one of the most like wealthiest people on the island, right? And I was like talking to him. I was like, "Hey, coach, what's up with this like beat up Sienna?" He's like, "Son, you know a lot about a man when he loves his Sienna." And I was like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "First of all, that person has family values, right? That like family is first.
That's the priority.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number two, does not care about what other people think about him. And number three, he knows the value of $1." I was like, I want to be him, right? So really, it's the people that drive the Siennas that really drew me to the van first. And then, I don't know if have you test driven the Sienna?
Yeah, I loved it. I drove for a whole week.
Right?
I loved it.
18 cup holders.
18 cup holders,
Yeah.
sliding doors, kick
36
sensor.
miles a gallon.
Yeah.
Has the phone charger. Platinum edition has the whole like reclining seats and
Yep.
stuff. I mean, and it looks great. I mean, the guy who designed the Supra is the designer of that.
And you can tell. Yeah.
yeah.
I always say that the Sienna looks like a minivan that has racing aspirations.
Yeah. Supra's mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great way to put it,
Yeah.
actually. And
Yeah.
also, I love the Supra too. It's also one of my favorite
Yeah.
cars. So
Yeah.
yeah, thank you so much. I think they're giving us the wrap up. So thank
Oh,
you
yeah,
so
thank
much.
you.
It was such a
Yeah,
pleasure to
thank
meet
you
you
so
today.
much.
Thank
Thank
you.
Yeah, so that was our conversation with Sung Kang.
So cool. He really is so chill and very just like, humble.
The most humble.
That's awesome.
And I truly, truly love all of the passion that he put into this. You know, it was a small team, small budget, and that to me makes it even more impressive.
Totally. Yeah. It's hard to make a movie, and it's hard to make a movie with not a lot of money. So that's so cool. That's awesome.
Yeah. And just based on what he said, like, I'm excited to see what comes next from him too, right?
Yeah, totally.
Like he mentioned he wanted to maybe do like a coming of age story, maybe a story about his mother. And I was like, I would love to watch that. Like, please make those movies.
I want to see those too. That sounds so cool.
I was so excited to meet him. I was like, that conversation I had with him like lives in my head rent free.
That's amazing.
And I just like replay moments from it. It was kind of magical for me.
That's amazing. That's so exciting.
Yeah, I loved it. I hope you guys enjoyed it too. And before our Ask an Expert, here's a message from your friends at AutoTrader. We at Own the Road love making car stuff simple for Canadians, and the AutoTrader app does the exact same thing. Sign up for price drop notifications, find out how much your car is worth, get an instant cash offer from a vetted dealership, get all your expert advice, and more. Download the AutoTrader app today. This week's Ask an Expert comes from Mike, aka Right Lane Hog. He is one of our most loyal supporters,
That's
so thank
awesome.
you, Mike, for being here. He sent us a link, and the headline is Ottawa driver 16 caught traveling nearly 100 kilometers an hour over the limit. And then he writes in, this is very close to where I live. They were supposed to start building a bike lane on this street, but it has been delayed due to sudden policy changes from Queen's Park. Thank God nobody was killed. So a little bit of background. This guy was 16-year-old. He had a G2 license. He was driving a Mercedes AMG GLC 43.
Yeah, big car to be going 100 kilometers an hour over the
He
speed
was
limit.
traveling 146 kilometers an hour in a 50 kilometer an hour community safety zone.
Yeah, tripling the limit. That's pretty significant.
Crazy, right?
Yeah, that's bonkers. And obviously so deeply unsafe.
Yeah, and so this wasn't really a question for Mike. It was more like just road safety. We talk about road safety all the time. And he adds that like road safety is clearly not a priority in Ontario, and that starts at the top.
Yeah, well, I mean, my opinions on road safety and the province of Ontario are well known. I think I've usually addressed it from the bike lanes perspective or speed cameras perspective. But both of those are deeply related to this. I think that, going 150 kilometers an hour in a 50 zone is like unsafe to other drivers, but also there are people walking around.
Yeah.
And
I also wonder with this 16-year-old driver, right? Like having the keys to such a powerful vehicle, would the threat of a speed camera have prevented this? I'm not sure.
Yeah, no, probably not. And it's a difficult issue because, we are giving a lot of responsibility to people who, I'm sure that a lot of people are trying to wield it responsibly, but like you can't guarantee that everybody's going to wield it responsibly.
I know, and it's just so sad to me because this guy is a kid, like he's a teenager,
Totally.
right?
Yeah,
and I always say, driving is a privilege; it is not a right. And I feel like a lot of people just approach it with so much entitlement.
Yeah, and without the respect for it, that it is like an enormously dangerous thing. Like you, whatever 5,000-pound GLC 43 hurtling down the road is like I'm gonna like not even only unsafe to vehicles and people, but like to buildings at some point. Like you could do a lot of damage with that car.
Yeah,
and like very easily kill people. So it's so bad.
I think teenagers should have a very healthy respect and fear for powerful automobiles.
Yeah, totally.
I think everyone should, but I distinctly remember my dad, when I was about this age, about 16, he gave me the keys. He had a car dealership at the time. He gave me the keys to a BMW M5, and he was like, "Can you please move this from this building to a couple blocks down the road to this other building?" And I said, "Okay," but I was terrified. I was so scared.
Yeah, totally. That's a lot of car.
It's a lot of car for a 16-year-old, right?
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I feel like more people should be approaching cars this way.
Totally. And like, absolutely, more people in general should be approaching the cars this way. To ask 16-year-olds to do that is like, obviously a lot of 16-year-olds do, but like a lot of people that age don't understand the consequences of like decisions like that seem insignificant. And like, obviously this kid, nothing went horribly, nothing tragic happened. So like,
but it could have.
But exactly, it could have easily. And like, you're really playing with the stakes. And like, I do think that, totally 16-year-olds, we should be addressing that, and it's a big responsibility. But like driving on the highway, you see a lot of people weaving between cars, and like I don't think those are all 16-year-olds. I think there's a lot of people who just don't handle the responsibility of driving your car with the respect it deserves. And totally, we see
it every day.
We see it every day, and absolutely, we should be making different decisions to keep people safe, like other road users who aren't necessarily in a car,
absolutely,
or who are.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you, Mike, for bringing this up. We always love an opportunity to talk about road safety and to educate people, so thank you. If any of you would like to ask us questions or share something with us, you can email us at expert@trader.ca. But that closes out this episode. I'm still buzzing from that conversation with Sung Kang. I hope you guys enjoyed it. But drive safe, and we'll see you next time.